Hello, hello, lovely Yorkshire lady. It's just very bizarre to have you here. You know, arriving all the way from Kuwait with an accent like that, it was
Correct.
just not possible.
It is possible. It's true. I've not made it up. It's my accent.
So please tell us what's your name and what do you do?
Okay. So my name is Miriam Khan. My daily job is an English teacher and a special educational needs teacher.
Right.
I've done that for about 20 plus years.
Wow.
However,
the
other side of me is podcasting.
Oh.
Right.
No pressure. No pressure.
So, yeah, I set up my podcast show 2 years ago, just before COVID happened, actually. And also I started writing. I published my own books. That was a bit of a challenge, but this at the moment is a completely different challenge. Obviously, we're working together, but I also was slowly trying to set up my own business as well. And I ended up working a lot for free, to be honest, but that's how you start. And I've been helping and empowering. Basically, the last couple of months has been helping other women divorce.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, especially in very, very difficult positions.
Situations.
Yeah,
so,
difficult.
So you've mentioned the word divorce. So
Yes.
tell us a little bit. What's the title of your chapter?
Good question. It's gone out of my mind.
We'll come back to that.
We'll come back to that.
Okay, what's the book all about?
So,
what the chapter is about? Because it's,
yeah.
it's quite, I mean, reading it, it's like,
Yeah. My chapter.
So don't say everything.
No,
right?
I won't do spoilers. I won't do spoilers.
it.
I won't do spoilers.
But-
But basically, I got to a situation with my divorce that took 2 years for me to try and even divorce the gentleman that I was married to. Obviously, I'm British born and bred. He was Egyptian. He lived over in Egypt, so did I, whilst I was there. And trying to divorce him and learning that he was a narcissist, abusive, financial abusive. Even though I'm very chirpy and happy and, full of life, and I'm very vibrant.
Right.
Yeah, and to be in that situation where you're trying to understand yourself, what is this I'm in?
Yeah.
I'm also a counsellor.
Right.
So
Gosh.
it was very difficult for me to even admit to myself that I was in this situation.
In it.
And trying to get out of it was not easy. You were like stuck in a claw, like a bear's claw. Every time you tried to yank your foot out, you couldn't.
Right.
You got clawed back in. And what made it very difficult is the emotional abuse, the physical abuse, the life threats, the death threats, and so on, and not having help.
Right, support. Yeah.
And when you're from a place like England, you're used to a country or laws that are this way.
Right.
And everything goes that way. Now, don't get me wrong, I had some good solicitors to help me get out of that, but it took a long time.
Right.
And understandably, there are many, many other women in that situation too that got themselves caught up in the politics of basically, being married and being sent to prison or sent to whatever just for applying for a divorce.
Wow.
So nasty games are often played, and I'm not trying to stigmatize one country, because I'm not.
No.
Some marriages are brilliant, some marriages are beautiful. I know that, but it took a long time for me to try to get out of that. My mindset was, very clouded, and
well, when you're in it, that's the thing, isn't it? When you're in a situation like that, you can't see clearly where you're going, and having somebody to get the book. If you're in situations where you're not too sure how to get out of that situation, because that's what the book is about.
Yes,
it's about giving some tools to ladies or readers. It could be a man who's in that situation. It doesn't have to be ladies.
No.
And actually don't have to go through the pain that you've been through.
Yeah.
Because you've learned the lessons and you're actually giving, beautiful ways of actually overcome those situations.
And what I found, Claire, was that a lot of people were embarrassed.
Right.
And I can understand, because I still have financial ties that I'm trapped by.
Right.
Trapped, inverted commas.
Right.
But it's also your mindset about that, And people are embarrassed, or they're ashamed, or they're basically shunned into silence. And some of that is also the death of that marriage. There's different chapters to that sort of feeling and emotions. and I'm one of those people, I never really truly understood what divorce was like. I empathized, don't get me wrong, and I could see the breakup and so on, you know. But when you're actually in it, and when you're actually going through those complications, you don't understand fully. You can't really fully empathize until you've walked that path and walked those shoes. And sadly, you lose friends. People that were very close to you, you can then count them on one hand. You know, but there's light at the end of the tunnel. And that's what I'm saying to you, that I never saw myself like, I laughed about it, but actually it really hurt me too to see other people go through this and also be told, oh, you can't get this divorce from this person. And I was like, no, you can. You need to do this.
Don't tell us what you need to do. Because you need to get the book right here, right now. You need to go and get the She Is Remarkable book, because you can read the story. And if people want to get in touch with you, how do they get in touch? So, do you have a platform?
Yeah, I've got my Instagram platform for Raise Your Vibes. So it's raise underscore your vibes. Yeah. Obviously, I've got my podcast show, which is also Raise Your Vibes. Now that's on an international platform. I'm on iTunes, Angami, Spotify.
Very nice.
I'm on 30-40 channels, I think, mainstream, everywhere.
I'll have to come to your podcast.
You do. You do.
I'm selling a bit
You do. So I've got all those different sort of mainstreams out there, you know, to try and help people. But again, in the podcast, I've tried to tackle these topics, and I've spoke to other people too that had similar situations, you know. And we have to, you're right, we have to help each other. We have to support each other, and we have to encourage each other so that you come out of the darkness into the light again. You know, and it's a rebirth, isn't it?
Absolutely.
And people don't see it like that.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, thank you very much for being here today. I'm
with the Yorkshire accent.
so honoured to be, you know, in that book with you, and Raise Your Vibes podcast, buy the book, and just be remarkable.